And welcome back to the Open Mic Broadcast Network radio guide. Dr. Mike Prince with Ben and Jack with another session and round of Yeah, I Said It. Guys, how you doing today?
Oh, man, I'm loving it.
Doing great.
Panthers won. I'm loving it.
Blessed and highly favored.
I know that's right. Well, look, happy holiday season to you guys. We didn't get a chance to go over Thanksgiving weekend due to family, food, and friends, and a little challenge with weather and health conditions, but all is well. I'm hoping and praying on all ends. And, man, we got a lot to discuss and look forward to for this championship weekend. Can you believe it, guys?
I can.
Yeah, I've been waiting a while for this. Can't get here fast enough. Now,
before we do that, man, we got some news that we need to kind of go over and around since the last time we've gotten together. And, man, you're talking about a coaching carousel that has started within the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Just as recent casualty, I guess I'll say, would be Hugh Jackson was given his walking papers from Grambling State. Of course, Eric Dooley, Clarence McKinney, and then there are a couple of other names that are on the bubble, even though there have been some coaching changing as far as offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator for Alcorn. Pine Bluff has gotten rid of their offensive coordinator. And then there are rumblings about there's not a lot of easy gliding, if you would, from Huntsville, Alabama with Coach Maynor and the Bulldogs. It is so much going on, man, and people throwing this name here and this name there about who could be replacing what. What are you guys thinking about all that's been going on?
It makes me feel proud that I went to Prairie View right now. Looks like everything on the hill looks pretty good.
Yeah. Some of it to me is surprising. But I guess that goes to show that these universities are serious about their programs.
Well, they're serious about their programs. Now, I will give Grambling a lot of credit and a very creative way of constructing their contract with Hugh Jackson. He had a 4-year contract. 2 of those years were guaranteed. And after that year 2, I think he went a total of 8-16 overall in conference play. They said, we've seen enough. You see you when we see you. And they don't owe him anything. Not like Coach Dooley, that 2 years after his 4-year commitment, they had to cut a check for him for $620,000. And as far as McKinney, he was at the end of his contract, so there was nothing lost from Texas Southern. And you have a similar scenario building up at Alcorn, where Coach McNair has come to the end of his contract extension, and it's really up in the air on what's going to happen one way or the other as far as Northern Mississippi is concerned. So, man, Jack, you say they're serious about it, but do you think the trigger is being pulled prematurely, considering the financial restraints that we customarily have at an HBCU level?
I don't necessarily think it's too early. Well, in the case of Southern, I do, but as far as Grambling, like you said, I think the way they structured the contract is one of the better structures of how to write a contract. So in one case, I think it's too early. In another, I think it's just right. So,
Ben,
I can't just gonna keep it simple. I'm just glad.
Okay, you're going Darth Vader mode on us right now, so you might have to repeat that.
I said I'm just glad that everything on the hill is in good standing as of right now, and I'm just waiting for this weekend.
Okay, I guess he's being politically correct this week, Jack, so that's good too. Moving on down the road, as far as the game.
Yeah.
The last time these two got together, it wasn't nice. It was 45-7 in favor of FAMU. Anything that could have gone wrong for the Panthers went wrong that day. FAMU, when you look at all the accolades that has been awarded for first and second team all conference players, FAMU has 13 total players representing, and Prairie View had 2, and 1 first team and the other second team offensive line. Then you go to Coach of the Year. Of course, it was Willie Simmons. Offensive Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, both coming from FAMU. And reserve quarterback for Texas Southern received the Newcomer of the Year. Now, I'm understanding about the Offensive Player of the Year, Musa, quarterback from FAMU, but I think it was highway robbery of Ladarius Owens from Texas Southern. The man rushed for 1,500 yards, led all backs, and was, in my opinion, the MVP. And I know that Texas Southern didn't win much, but if there was ever a time everybody wants to be politically correct, right, and do the right thing and make everybody feel good, I thought in this case they could have at least gave Cole Offensive Players of the Year with the numbers that young man put up this season.
Yeah, I agree with that, but it reminds me of the professional league where it says the quarterback normally, for whatever reason, he gets the nod, but I do think that the guy from Texas Southern, you can't take anything away from him, and I give him his kudos. He had a heck of a year.
I agree with you, gentlemen.
Well, let's see if we can transfer in the portal real quick to get him in a Panther uniform by the weekend.
But you know what? If I'm not mistaken, I guess we'll talk about the portal a little later. There's a couple other guys that have ended their career at some other universities, and I wonder would they be willing to come to the SWAC West champions, Prairie View A&M University.
Well, you can bring it up before we get into the game. Who you looking at?
If I'm not mistaken, I think you said earlier that there were a lot of concerns going on at Alcorn University. One of their good running backs who has, from my understanding, 3 years eligibility left. And hopefully after these next 2 games, we're for sure to lose one of our running backs. So I'm sure the running back room will have a slot available. Now, I don't want anyone to call me talking about that I'm tampering, but I might not be tampering, but I'm definitely looking.
Okay. Well, like I said, we'll keep our heads on the swivel. Of course, after championship Saturday, the transfer portal officially opens up, and there's no telling what you're going to see and how you're going to see the fast-paced action starting to build up. Let's get focused back to this game, okay?
Yeah.
When we look at it on paper, and if you're just going to, be true and call a spade, on paper, there's no way that FAM could lose this game. Would you agree or disagree with that statement?
I
agree. I agree with that statement.
There are some areas to be taken advantage of, but I would definitely say it's probably leaning 80-20.
Okay, 80-20. Now, the good thing and the unique thing about this, the strength for the Panthers are their running game. Okay?
Right.
The strength for the FAMU Rattlers is that dark cloud defense. Okay? Number 1 in the nation. And they have sought to improve offensively with their running game. I'm talking about FAMU right now. And I believe that Prairie View's defense is strong enough and capable enough to neutralize the running attack of FAMU. So the strengths of both of these squads are going to be put to the test. And if the weatherman is correct with the projections of the forecast for this weekend, it's going to be plenty of rain, thunderstorms, and it's going to limit the passing opportunities and rely heavily on both teams being able to run the ball.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Whatever it means by necessary, I just want us to win.
Eugene, oh, I done messed up and called that man Eugene. That's okay, yeah. It's all right. It's all right. You short and sweet to the point this week. That you just want them to win, right? You just want them to win.
I'm all business right now. I told you last week, it's all business. If this is not what you came to school for, to play in a championship game, then you should transfer to A&M or something.
Okay. Now, when you talk about it's all about the business, we just kind of identified the high and lows of what's going to be the aggression and success for the Panthers to win this game. If you win the toss, do you want the ball first? You want to put your defense on first? How do you approach this, guys?
I'm going to kick the ball off. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, you're going to put your defense on first. Okay. How about this? You choose to defer to the second half and open up with an onside kick. Wouldn't that be something?
It would be something if we up by 14, but I'm kicking the ball away.
I know, I understand. I'm just, the element of surprise, right?
But if you're talking about stuff, I'm play the game straightforward.
That's why I'm saying doing it. Try the onside. It's the adrenaline's going to be pumping. It's going to be allegedly a wet surface. Why not squib it, or kick it where somebody who's not used to handling the ball has to try to field it in those conditions to catch him off guard? Why not?
Yep. I got a text message, and Coach Bubba said, keep all strategic things off of the broadcast. So, but just in case if we have some nosy neighbors like the Jeffersons, we're just gonna keep it busy. This is business.
You're gonna keep it. Don't let none of the family's trade secrets out.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I keep it to myself, but I still mean it. Why not catch them off guard? We're playing with house money right now, right? There is absolutely nothing to lose. Yes, we're the West champs. All depend on who you listen to. We back in, and we're lucky to be there. And I'll take luck with a little skill any time of the day if it's going to keep me ahead of you. And that's just the way it is. And all of us are lucky to be where we are. Okay, and that's why I'm liking the chances and the vibe that Prairie View could and should bring into this contest. Even the fact that they lost 45-7 the first time they met. Go back and you study that tape and look at what you know that you did not execute on. Look at the opportunities that you did have a chance, and let's go in here and make amends starting at 2 p.m. Central Time this weekend.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, the last time we did meet, the last minute or 30 seconds of the game, we were basically driving, and we could have, I believe, tied up the score.
That was in the first.
It was 13-7 or something, or 14-7.
Oh yeah,
and we ended up.
We wasn't nowhere close to tying that game toward the end.
No, I'm just talking about before halftime.
Oh yeah. But you talking toward the end of the game? No, toward the end of the game, we had to bus crank to get back to the airport.
But the end of the second quarter, my fault. Yeah, but we threw an interception and ended up being 21-7 instead of either 14-10. Right. So, if I recall correctly, we can just keep the turnovers down, have control of the ball. We can make this a game. And as far as the onside kick, not right off the bat. I think the weather being bad and rainy, I think that's good enough to just go ahead and kick it off. And hey, go knock that ball out of their arms and things. So I think the weather's bad enough, so let's go ahead and kick it off and try to spot the ball.
Okay. You've got an Eric Dooley phrase, spot the ball, huh? Let's go for it. Ain't nothing wrong.
Nothing to say Dooley on this channel. Nothing to say Dooley on this channel.
Whatever they're saying, it was a spot the ball. He made that, he coined that, especially his tenure at Prairie View, spot the ball Dooley. That's what he said, man. And ain't nothing wrong with spotting the ball.
And that's one of the philosophies I do agree with that Coach Dooley instilled is, hey, let's spot the ball.
I think you want to change that up right about now. So.
Man, there he goes. That's the first shot fired. There he is. He's back.
Where is the ball? That's probably what he's saying right now. Where is the ball?
Oh, my God. Okay. Back to the game. Now, when we look at it, Ben, you've always been concerned about the receivers from FAMU. Big receivers, possession-type receivers, but they do have some breakaway speed. And I know he's the coach beyond coaches, Jack. He's the number one fan. He's the only one that knows football. We're just kind of like tag-alongs, and the coaching staff are tag-alongs. So, Ben, what's the defensive plan for this weekend?
Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail. If you are correct about the weather, I do think we need to be prepared, but they also need to be prepared also for some misdirection. One thing about rain, I think it sets you up for a potential misdirection run or throw. So I think that's something that both teams should be definitely paying attention to.
Okay. Do you see, from your vantage point in studying whatever you studied, stats, film, actual game viewing, things that truly concern you that the Panthers are going to have to keep at a minimum in order to have success this weekend?
I think, if we go back to what I've kind of suggested the last couple of weeks, we need to keep our composure. That would be at the top of my list. The game is already, they've played them before. No offense to them. They know who's big, who's not big. They know game speed because they've seen that before. One thing about losing, I believe you can make some adjustments when you lose. And so we played our worst game. I don't know if they can play better than what they played, but we played bad. So from a coaching standpoint, player standpoint, we can't do anything but play better. And I also believe that if the game in some way, somehow is closer at the end, you were talking about Dooley and his sins. There's another sin in the black neighborhood, that pressure bust pipe. Florida A&M has been known to break under pressure. So if we can keep it close, we'll see what they really are about.
Okay. Jack, you got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. I think we just need to kind of win ugly, just like kind of like how the Broncos are right now. The Denver Broncos.
Oh, look at him, Ben. He want to throw in his Broncos. Look, he wasn't talking when they was 1-5. Now they got a little life in them. Go ahead on,
right?
Jack, get them in.
Yeah, but but if you notice, when we were losing those close games, we had Russell just throwing 27, 30 times a game, and then now it's basically old school football. You pound the ball, third down, little passing on third downs and all that good stuff. But you're basically controlling the clock, and then you're depending on your defense to basically keep you in the game. And so that's 5 straight wins. So I think if we just take a page out of the Broncos playbook and just win ugly. We're not here to have glamorous stats and everything. We're just here to win.
I have a question. Is Antoine healthy to the best of your knowledge?
To the best of my knowledge, yes, sir. All is well in the camp.
Okay.
And like I've stated the last time, who I was looking to have a breakout game, and fortunately he did, was Caleb Johnson.
Correct.
And had a monster of a game. And if you got Warsham, you got Anton, and you got Caleb doing their thing and the addition of Connolly. The thing that we need Connolly to do is not to try to win it by himself, not to try to force the issue with throws. And if you see it and it looks open, don't guess, just go for it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's whether it's running or passing on the read option. And that sound like what?
Now, huh? You sound like you stole something from me last week. I said that, I thought.
Oh, my God. Well, he's the number one thing. He's going to take credit for everything, right?
No, I'm saying
right.
If you see it, throw it. If you don't see it, run it until you slide. That's what I see.
Okay.
But I do agree with you when you're talking about Conley, and, Jack wants to throw in the Denver Broncos. So I'm going to throw in this Denver Broncos situation. There was a time when Doug Williams won the Super Bowl against the Denver Broncos. I don't know what they called it, but it was when they pulled, I think, the tackle to the left or to the right, and John Reagan ran right behind them. Do y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm. Slightly. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Slightly, because it happened against the Broncos.
I can definitely see how if you pull the tight end and the tackle running to his right, and you have Conley running behind that, I could see how that definitely could be, a good play. But again, I don't want to put too much out there because I'm sure that we have some spies in the camp, and so I don't want to say too much. Florida A&M and their fans have already kind of said enough. They've given enough, for us to try to capitalize on. And I'm just ready to win. That's all I'm thinking about is winning.
Right. Well, when you look at the grand scheme of things, as I mentioned earlier, Prairie View, although they're the winners from the West, they're playing with house money, right? When we look at this thing on paper, it's FAMU everything. And old coach from the Vikings, you want to crown them champions, then go ahead and crown them champions, but you still have to play the game, okay? And here's what I'm looking at as far as a psychological edge that I would hope Prairie View is bringing to this game on Saturday. Starting back, I can remember when Ben was so hot and fired up when Prairie View was picked number 5. He felt they were so disrespectful and this, that, and the other, and they overcame that, okay? Now you're coming through and surviving this 45-7 beatdown, okay? Then with the recent acknowledgement of the talent that's on your squad, 2 players on the West champion were acknowledged amongst coaches and sports information directors as being worthy enough to be recognized on the all-conference team. Okay? I think that's enough to fuel them to still play with an edge and overcome. And the question that you have to ask yourself, whenever you get done in battle, did you give it all you had? If you can look yourself in the mirror and know that you gave everything that you had, then you can accept defeat a little bit better. But just being on the side of competition, I think and would be willing to bet and almost guarantee that Prairie View would be the first to admit that they left a lot out there on that field that could have been cleaned up. And you're going to see an entirely different, motivated Panthers come this weekend.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I can see that as well.
Okay.
And let me throw out there also, not only I think will the Panthers demonstrate a little more fight. From what I'm hearing through the grapevine, that there are going to be more Panther fans.
Man, I don't want to talk about no Panther fans.
I understand that, but I'm going to voice my concern. And so, unlike previous time when we only had maybe one fan in the audience, I think there will be a little more support. So I'm hoping that with God-bless effort for the football team and the little support that they get from the stands, that would be more than enough to push us over the finish line. And so I understand what your concern or your thoughts are. Mine are very similar. But at the same time, this is not the time to have infighting. This is the time to where I'm expecting and desiring for us to win. And anything that's talked about other than winning is not necessarily worth talking about at this particular time. That's something that we can talk about at a later time. But right now, we need all positive energy from all the different sources to come together to push our school to the victory.
Sound like you rubbing on chicken feet and rabbit's feet over there, man. What do you? I mean, and I understand the positive energy, but I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get in and get out. Don't show up now at the shining moment when you couldn't walk with me through clouds and valleys low. But that's to each his own. Jack, do you have anything to add on this particular segment here, sir?
No, I mean, as far as what Ben is concerned about, having to show up and all that, I mean, in your assessment of, why didn't we show up early in the season? We're just can't cry over spilled milk. Let's just do better. Let's do better on the attendance next year.
Oh man, okay. Yeah, we're gonna move on because
let's move on.
No, but it is what it is. Let's just do better, and that's part of our problem, man. We're so passive at times that we won't call it out what needs to be called out. It's shameful that you
call it out every week, and so again,
you got to call it out. No, I didn't call it out every week. The numbers call it out every week.
I don't have a problem with you calling out factual points, but right now, as what I said earlier, and I'll say again. This is not the time. The time right now is for Coach Bubble to prepare the team for the task. The time right now is if you say that you are a proud alumnus of the university, for us to put all of our energy together and to think positive. And so anything other than that, I choose not to want to be a part of that at this particular time.
Okay. Well, for the record, it's already been announced that the game is a sellout. Wonder how many no-shows will actually be in place with the weather being, forecast for what it is. Very strong rains Friday and thunderstorms on Saturday for that 3 p.m. local time, with time in the area kickoff is 2 p.m. Central time for those in PV land. And with all that being said and all that being established, it's time for us now to give your prediction. And this week we want to score. What you think it's going to be? We're going to start with old Ben.
Can we talk about some other things before we get to that? If that's okay with you.
Whatever you want to talk about, brother. It's open forum.
All right. I want to talk about the disrespect. I know you were touching upon it, but I don't want to talk about the disrespect from the Prairie View side. But there are a couple people that I need to call out. So I'm hoping that you're listening, and may your team bring some better fights, as Jack said, next year. If you have any issue for all of these SWAC affiliates who are in need of a new football coach, work on your own university's football problems before you start trying to address what's going on at PV. I was reading and looking at some articles this week where, everybody's basically almost giving FAMU the go-ahead as if they've already won the game. And so I thought that was disrespectful. But most importantly, what I thought was disrespectful was there are some people, I don't even know what their name, Kendrick, I wanted to come up with another name for him, but Kendrick, another guy from Grambling. If you're going to talk about Prairie View, learn how to spell it. If you can't spell it, don't talk about it. Someone brought up the idea that Prairie View just lucked up into the situation. And I bust out laughing, did a little research, and I wondered, that before the J, since they don't want to be called Jackson State University, I'm going to just call you the J, like in jelly. You go one way when you lose and another way when you win, jelly. And so when Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman came on the scene, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me, I think it was Alcorn that was winning the East. Am I not correct?
Yes, sir.
And so the West, we didn't beg for any particular school to come over to our conference side. We took your best, which was Alcorn, which had been winning for many years, not Jackson State, not Bethune-Cookman, not Florida A&M. So the West took your best, and your best has not won the Western Conference Championship since they've been at our side, on our side. So when you want to do all of your little snickering and your little talking, learn your own history about what's going on y'all side. You can't win your own side. We took your best, and we're beating them down. So learn how to spell the name of the university and put a little more respect on it. Lastly, I would say it's amazing how people forget, what they were about pre-Coach Deion Sanders. Wanting to scold me by not calling him Coach Deion Sanders. You wasn't nothing before him, and you look at where you are right now, I think you're, second or third place in your conference? So I dare you, Kendrick, whoever you are, and the young man from Grambling, I remember he told me
you talking about Ken Rashad? Ken Rashad?
Yeah, all of them, you need not speak to me when you have so many people at your own university. Deal with those first. And when you deal with those,
man.
then you come look for me.
That's who you was talking about?
Yeah, but as an old supervisor told me, don't come look for me unless I ask for you. And I ain't asked for nobody from Jackson State or Grambling to come look at anything at TV. Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to get that.
Tell us how you really feel, Ben.
Tell us how he didn't drop the mic, shots fired. He didn't drop the mic. Oh, no, man.
We all joking. We kind of, joke. But I thought, proper nouns was supposed to be spelled capital first. But if you don't know how to spell the university, then why would you talk about it? I mean, I was just like, what the world?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, oh, my God.
Well, I didn't want to do it. I'll leave it alone.
Okay. Oh, my God. Well, Jack, what are we going to do with me?
Hey.
Oh, my God. I was like,
he said it. Yeah, he said it.
Wait. I got one more for you. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my notes because I came prepared.
Okay.
So I was Jackson State's record this year. Listen to this. They lost to Alcorn. They barely beat Texas Southern. They beat Arkansas Pine Bluff. They beat Mississippi Valley. And I want to say they lost their homecoming, if I'm not mistaken, to Alabama State.
Uh-huh.
And then I looked at Prairie View's record. The team that whooped Jackson State for their homecoming, we beat them. And even though the score was 21-14, actually, you could almost say we kind of gave up in the end and the game was closer, but at least we beat them.
Mm-hmm.
We beat Southern, which, again, that was a close game for them. We beat Texas Southern, which they barely beat Texas Southern, at their own beloved, is it called Veteran or whatever that stadium is?
Yeah, Veteran Memorial. Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
The one with the cracks in the concrete. So when they're talking about we barely bagged in, if you look at some of the same teams that we played and they played, we beat Alcorn. They lost them. We beat Alabama State. They lost them. We beat, even though it's the first game of the year, Texas Southern. They barely beat them at the so beloved home field of the 30,000, 40,000 fans. So, Kendrick, man, worry about your own business. Apparently, you worried about the wrong thing.
Okay. Do you have any more notes, sir?
I got some more, but I'm just letting it simmer right now. I'm letting it simmer.
He's letting it simmer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I want you to have full reign. Say what you got to say.
Yeah. Well, I'm just, if you want to come back, tell him to come to the show, and we have more for him. Believe that.
Oh, my goodness. Jack, do you have anything to add to what Brother Ben has already unleashed, I guess?
Hey, I can't follow that. All I can say is, yeah, he said it.
Yeah, he said that for real. And boy, oh boy, well, I guess, as I say, it is what it is, right? And the segment is called "Yeah, I Said It," and he said it. He laid it out there. So with that being said, are all minds clear that you can make your predictions right now, sir?
Yes, I'm gonna go last if you don't mind.
No, you're not going last. You're going first, like who's asked you to go first.
Oh, you asked me, how you gonna put me on the spot? I'm the number one fan.
You're the number one fan. That's why you go first.
Okay, I'm gonna go with it this way. I'm saying Prairie View's winning 24. I'm putting the win on our field goal kicker foot. I believe in you. I'm praying for that toe of yours, but I believe in you. 24 to 21.
24-21 is what you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jack, what do you have, sir?
As far as scoring wise, but with the rain and everything, I think it's going to be pretty ugly. So I'm basically saying 17-14 Prairie View on the foot of our beloved Gomez.
Villa Gomez. Okay, I think we're all kind of leaning in that same way. I was on record earlier this week saying that I believe the Prairie View would win 27-24 with Villa Gomez kicking a walk-off field goal as we fade into the Tallahassee night air. So we're in agreement, and this might be an emotional pick for us, and deservedly so. How many times do you get to cheer for your team in the championship game? How many others would like to be in that position, whether we backed in, fell in, stumbled in? Either way, we're in. And it's up to us to make a game out of it. No, they're not expecting much from us. And it's all favored. The TV execs want to see FAMU win. Why? Because it's going to be good for their ratings. Howard is awaiting patiently the winner of these two, and hopefully it's Prairie View and Howard come December 16th. But either way, we will be rooting for PVU. And we just can't wait to get this thing up and at 'em. 2 p.m. Central Time will be the kickoff, and you can listen to that game throughout its entirety right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, obnradio.com. Click on that Listen Live link, or you can dial 857-777-0000. Now it is time for us to get our top 10 HBCU Division I poll for the regular season. We'll probably have a final one after the championship game has been played from Atlanta, Georgia. So, guys, let me hear your top 10s for this week.
So, Benjamin's top 10, I'm going from 10 up. I have Morgan State at number 10. I have Tennessee State at number 9, Hampton University at number 8. As of right now, I have Howard University at number 7. I have Alcorn at number 6. And then I have the hated Jackson State University at number 5. I have Alabama State University at number 4. I have the beloved A&M University at number 3. I have North Carolina Central at number 2. And as of this poll, I believe next week it will be totally different, but as of this poll, I have Florida A&M as number 1.
Okay. Jack, what you got, man?
Okay. At 10, I have TSU, Texas Southern. And then at number 9, I have Alabama A&M University. At number 8, I have Alabama State University. At number 7, I have Southern. At number 6, I have Jackson State. At number 5, I have North Carolina Central. At number 4, I have Howard. At number 3, I have Alcorn. At number 2, I have our beloved Prairie View A&M University Panthers. And like Ben said, currently at number 1, I have the Florida A&M Rattlers.
Very, very, very intriguing. And you know what I did, Ben?
Yes, sir.
I put together a top 10 myself this week.
What you said?
Yeah, and I said, you know what? It's the final, regular season standing. And I'm going to be going from 10 up. And I'm trying to recall this right off the top here. Let me make sure. Number 10, I had Grambling State. Number 9, I had Southern University. Number 8, I had Jackson State. Number 7, I had Tennessee State. Number 6, I had Alcorn. Number 5, no, reverse that. Number 6, I had Alabama State. Number 5, I had Alcorn. Number 4, I had North Carolina Central. Number 3, I had Prairie View. Number 2, I had Howard. And number 1, I had at FAMU. So what we all have an agreement, FAMU was the number 1 on our poll, and I was somewhat intrigued on the numbers and how did you guys come up with your polls. Do you guys care to share how you came up with your polls for that?
Well, again, it's easy to put FAMU as of right now. They beat the number 1 team. I mean, they didn't beat, but the number 1 team lost to North Carolina Central. So I still have Florida A&M first and North Carolina Central second. From what I saw on different outlets, how they played up down. They lost some games that they probably should have won, and they won some games that people thought that they should have lost. Prairie View has been pretty much very similar, but on the late end, we beat the people that we needed to beat, Kendrick, to get to that number. And so Jackson State did that. People love them so much. They slid. So they lost to Alcorn. And then we beat, again, a team from the East in Alabama State, which was doing pretty good. So I had to slide them down. And that's how I ended up moving PV up. And ultimately, I'm believing, Kendrick, that when we win come Saturday, just know that my journalist pen will be writing something to express something about us and nothing about y'all.
Oh, Jack, how did you come up with yours?
Mic drop. Okay, all right. It's hard to follow Ben. It's hard to follow.
Shot fired. Oh my God.
No, but as far as how I have Howard at 4 and North Carolina Central at 5, respectively, is basically just I kind of like spent the schedule and the number of games. Correct me if I'm wrong. The SWAC teams played, few more number of games than the MEAC.
Well, conference games. More conference games, yes.
Yeah, more conference games. Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. So based on that is kind of how I kind of judged the ranking on my end.
Okay, and it was a similar approach for me with your 1 because they're number 1 in FCS, defensively and everything. It was a no-brainer for FAMU to be at number 1. Number 2, I gave to Howard because they did win the MEAC championship. So I gave them credit for that. Number 3, I gave to Prairie View because they won the Western Division of the SWAC. I gave North Carolina Central number 4 because they didn't win their conference and they lost that first round of the FCS playoffs. Number 5, what?
I'm sorry, I said they got cheated.
Got cheated? Oh, okay, well, that's a whole nother conversation. Number 5, I had Alcorn because they finished second in the West. And I had Alabama State at number 6 because they finished second in the East. Number 7, Tennessee State. Overall, they had a somewhat of a productive year, even though they finished 4th in the OVC, but they had a pretty productive season. And of course, I looked at Morgan, but I couldn't justifiably put them in with a couple of critical losses, and so that's how I ended up with the rest of them being where they were. Jackson State, of course, was 3rd in the conference, and Grambling and Southern, because of both of them teams came in with a need to have that win to finish above 500, is how I got up. When I compared apples to apples with the MEAC teams that remained, I just went ahead and just numbered it as such. But nonetheless, we have what we have. Gentlemen, it has been a wonderful, wonderful season. But I want to throw one at Ben, Jack, real quick. Mm-hmm. If you recall, when I said that Prairie View go anywhere between 6-5 and 8-3, and I said, don't be surprised if it's 6-5. He was ready to exile me, was he not?
He was.
You know, he called me disrespectful, not a true fan, and all that. And I had Alcorn picked to win the West. They finished second. You know, so Ben, do I get any little credit for my preseason projection at all?
Well, I think, probably you should have learned, from your mistakes in the past to stop at a certain point, but you just chose not to. You probably should have just stopped right before you said who you picked in the West.
I'm being honest to myself. I did pick Alcorn in the West.
But at that point, the rest of the stuff that you talked about didn't really matter. What mattered was I believe I did first and Jack did second. We picked them to win the West. So if you didn't pick them, then all the other stuff you're talking about, it's mute.
Well, Jack, you had people going 10-1, and you had 9-2 right there.
I had them winning the division. Yes, sir. Go back to you, sir. You did it last week, so I'm just curious to see what you're gonna say. Can you give me a offense and defensive player for us to look out for?
Well, I believe defensively, Deshaun Jackson, linebacker, is going to be playing on a mission with purpose, feeling slighted, not to even be mentioned second team all conference. I think that defense as a whole is going to be up and ready to go. And I'm putting my egg back in that Caleb Johnson basket simply for the fact when he transferred from Mississippi Valley to Prairie View, he said he came because he felt that Prairie View gave him his best chance to winning a championship. Now, this young man is in his senior year, not that he's not the only senior on the team, but coming from a program that has historically struggled in the likes of a Mississippi Valley. This young man, in my opinion, and what I'm visualizing, is going to be running with a purpose, because more than likely, this will be the last time that he'll ever get a chance to play football at a high level that he's playing at right now. And I think he's going to leave it all out there on the table, and the weather and for the style of back that he is favorable for him. And I believe you're going to have some fire from the 2 lone survivors on the all-conference team who happen to be on the offensive line, they're going to be motivated and ready to prove that they belong on the field with the Raptors. Is that good enough for you, sir?
Yeah, I was just curious. I agree with you. I think actually it will probably be he, and also I don't know why. I just think Antoine is going to have a good game. In my mind, I think it's possible we could have 100-yard rushers in this game. So again, Connolly, I could have 3, but then Connolly, I would just say, if you don't see it, don't you throw it, and you run it till you can slide. And I think it continue to do what it's doing. I believe that we are more than capable of coming back to the hill happy.
Any closing thoughts and comments for you, number 1 fan, and Mr. Jack?
I can't find it. I apologize, sir, to both of y'all. I was trying to find, if I'm not mistaken, there was a Prairie View A&M University football player who was participating in the Grey Cup, if I'm not mistaken. And I wanted to give him his kudos, but at this particular time, I have lost track of my notes, and I don't know his name, but I wanted to give him his kudos. There was a person from Prairie View on the football team that was on the Grey Cup team this year, so I wanted to give him his kudos. Other than that, did Dooley tell you this? Fired up and ready to go? Is that one of his slogans? I'm fired up and ready to go.
My God.
I got my popcorn ready.
Okay.
I'm just ready, man. I'm just proud that even when people try to talk about the school, talk about the players, I really believe if it's Prairie View or FAM or any other black college, true cream rises to the top. And so I'm looking forward to just a good game. I pray no injuries. I pray that all in attendance, they make it there safely and return back home safely. But I think the world is going to be shocked.
Okay, at least the HBCU world will be shocked. Right?
No, I think there's some other, individuals. I think some people who probably maybe looked over bubble, shocked. I think some one particular coach who left Prairie View to go elsewhere will be shocked.
Ain't saying no names, okay.
I think some of the so-called J fans who, are very loud about, oh, my goodness, that's my other note, but who want to change the rules all of a sudden to make it easier for them, they're going to be shocked.
Ain't saying no names. Mm-hmm.
If you want to change the rules, change conferences. You can't change the rules at the end of the football season to make it conducive for you. That's how you grow up as a man. You take what you have and you learn from it. If you win, you win. You lose, you lose. You don't lose and then crawl in your mom's skirt. You're talking about, can we change the rules? Can I buy something?
Woo, Ben. Boy, what Nelly said, it's getting hot in here, boy. Look, Lord
exactly.
Jack, what are your closing thoughts and comments, sir?
Hey, Ben's on fire right now, but yeah, my only final word in agreement with you with Caleb Johnson, right? Yeah, just how he kind of manifested. This is his best chance of getting to SWAC championship, and so it's here. It's here now. He spoke it, manifested. Now it's time to make destiny. So
yes, sir.
Yeah. So just traveling grace for everyone that's traveling. Via car, via bus, via plane, and all the watch parties that are going to be around. That I've seen people going to watch parties. Just enjoy the game, and let's go Panthers.
Let's go Panthers. Well, I am looking forward to a very highly competitive game this weekend. I am expecting a totally different outcome than what was the first time when these guys met on October 28th. I do want guys to play hard, play fair, and hopefully everyone comes out healthy. No major injuries or, life-threatening injuries to that matter, and people travel safe going and coming. I want to thank you, Ben, you, Jack, for your participation. And if the Lord say the same, the creek don't rise, we still got to meet again next week, hopefully with the Panthers headed toward the Celebration Bowl. But either they do or they don't, we'll still get together to talk about the game that shall be. Want to thank our listeners and all the supporters, the people that come in, that chime in. A lot of you get a kick out of this Yeah, I Said It segment. A lot of you support daily what we're trying to do here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Truly a labor of love, and we're not going to change that. We're not going to stop that. There are fans all over. There are programs all over. You can be anywhere that you want to be, but you choose to be with us, and we thank you for that. I do want to remind you and encourage you guys that you can follow me on X at The Mike Prince Show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And we do have a 24-hour stream on our website at obnradio.com. And don't forget, you can listen to that game live if you happen to be away from a television or a streaming device. You can go to our website at obnradio.com. Click on that Listen Live button. Dial in at 857-777-0000. And if you can't catch it live, do go to that website or the YouTube channel, Open Mic Broadcast Network, to listen to the rebroadcast. I've got to exit stage left. My time is far spent. Thank you guys so much for joining in. And until the next time, you guys be blessed. And we'll see you on the other side.